don't know who I can trust. I don't know who I can trust. I don't know who I can trust. I don't know who I can trust. That's why I put God first. 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 I don't know who I can trust. 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 That's why I put God first. That's why I put God first.
Fucking
That's
started
why I put
off.
God first.
I'm not
That's why I put
monetized, so I
God
can
first.
say what
I
I
put
want
it
to
for like
say.
a verse. My generation, we were cursed. Projects and red dirt.
Peace to the nigga
Growing up
nation.
with the work. My grandma made me go to church. My mama caught me cut school. My daddy
Listening
said I
to
wasn't
the
cool. Hand me down, hand me down, hand
Atlanta
me
Avenue
down. I just wanted new shoes. I
season
just
3
wanted to be
soundtrack.
fresh. I ain't know it was a
There's
test. My
no
friend
skips
showed me
on it
what
for
a
me.
friend was. You bought me for
I
a whole dub.
made the
That's why I don't
statement
know
the
who
other
I can
day.
trust. That's why I put
Hold on.
God first. And I pray that
Hold
it
on. I
bring me
made the
curse.
statement the
How
other
the pain
day
and you know that don't hurt. How the tears don't shed in
that
you.
the Atlanta Avenue soundtrack, Volume 3, that motherfucker like the hardest shit out for me right now. This is my opinion. Now that Drake, I'd had to take that Drake bullshit out. And I'm not saying the boy got bullshit, but for me, I think the last one, I really moved me. Where I just listened to it all the way through, or the one where he had his head on there, and it was like the blue background, and it had the Pound Cake song on it. But this motherfucking Atlanta Avenue Volume 3, that shit kind of go to me. So, peace to the nigga nation. Um, I'm off work. I'm off the plantation. And even though my hours, it was fucked up. Like on nights, I don't need to be up at this time because I generally have to get up early in the morning, and it is early in the morning, so I say good morning. Uh, I'm usually up and have to get up in a couple of hours, so I'll be trying to come on. I might try to come on and talk a little bit, if not here somewhere else. Um, I was sitting here and I was listening. I mean, because in my mind I wasn't gonna come on because I'm sitting here butt naked, and this is not an X-rated channel. Nor am I wishing to show my unk tits or my belly specifically. Um, that's why y'all got the camera turned this way. I was sitting here watching. I was really, like I said, I was sitting here listening to an interview, and this particular interview is from a YouTube channel called The Soft White Underbelly. I will be sure to place a link into the description box to this interview. Um, I would like to believe that I am assuming the presumption of fair use. I do not wish to steal this creator channel creator's content. I just want to need this particular segment to begin my own particular point. So hopefully I got it right where I needed to be at. Hold on, let me show you what it is first. Okay, hold on one second. Gangster Disciples co-founder interview Ike Taylor. Now, I'm not affiliated with the organization. Now, someone like this gentleman, is close grew up with Larry Hoover. Actually, grew up with Larry Hoover, so he doesn't necessarily refer to the organization that he is in as some may refer to. I guess maybe even the government or whatever may say gang, but. Uh, their ideology of it, well, I guess their goal of coming together and make this organization, growth and development, is for the purpose of community development and having to fight against the social ills of the community. But let me not get too far away from it. It's a good listen to me. I mean, I don't, eh, Uh, I ain't gonna say nothing. I mean, my guy, he was dropping game. Now, some of y'all bougie motherfuckers might say, that nigga like he high, whatever. He like he drunk. Whoop-de-whoop. He may or may not be. But sometimes even if you have in your life and you stop, might have certain. Fuck it. Let me not get out the point what I'm trying to make here. This interview. Uh, Gangster Disciples co-founder interview Ike Taylor. This segment I'm about to play.
Because you see, the government, the power to be, not going to do it. They don't care. What Michael J said, they don't care about us.
Let me go back a little bit.
in every major city, really in every neighborhood. Because you see, the
Hey
government, the
man, I think
power
I
to be,
went
not
past
going
it.
what they gonna build over there. I've been to two meetings and the same shit they saying was the same shit we heard in '69. Because
Come on, man.
do change in sports, if you
Pardon me,
gotta
people.
be
Let me get it
light
together.
skinned or mixed,
I had this shit. I
not
had
from
this
an
shit
inner
queued.
the wealth that they accumulated, it don't come back to us when she leave them or kill them. The money goes to them, to that side of the family. Look at Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah, I got me.
After they accumulated,
Okay, y'all, be
in the
patient.
'60s, they introduced all these brothers to these different white girls, and they Tatum, all of them is mixed. Not from an inner city, because they say we violent and this and that. And you notice Curry, Tatum, all of them is mixed. And they've been diluting our blood since the '60s. In the '60s, they introduced all these brothers to these different white girls and Asians and this and that. So they marry them, have babies. So the wealth that they accumulated, it don't come back to us when she leave them or kill them. The money goes to them, to that side of the family. Look at Michael Jordan. He left Juanita, his childhood sweetheart mother, his kids for some foreigner.
Now, I actually went back a little bit far, and I guess in regards what where I'm trying to take it to, kind of coincides with what he's saying right here. Um, and this is the mindset of those of someone who grew up, I guess, who was born in the era of the Jim Crow, even though he lived up north in Chicago, in Illinois. But I'm sure there was a fair share of racism in Illinois. Uh, he grew up here where I live now. I live in Cook County, Illinois, whatever. Um, and he sees race from a particular perspective, more of an institutional perspective. I mean, and I guess you think about law enforcement and the system, the incarceration system, whatever. But let me continue with my guy. I done got out the motherfucking page. Let me go back. Okay.
So look at Tiger Woods.
This the
I
part
don't like Kanye. I don't like
right here.
Common. We protected them in the city. What did they do? Kanye still ass took his money to them Kardashians. Where the youth centers? I thought when they I thought when them folks' mother died, oh, that was a good opportunity to put a youth center naming after them, especially their mothers was educators. And just think, we could have just the money that they make, we could have youth centers for the kids in every major city, really in every neighborhood. Because you see, the government, the power to be, not going to do it. They don't care. What Michael Jackson said, they don't care about us. And they try to contain it. Just like when the young brothers and sisters start hitting them stores on the Magnificent.
Hitting stores on the Magnificent Mile, but that he was talking about doing when the George Floyd riots and all that shit was going on. But what I wanted to get out of that was because I don't want to pretty much beleaguer the point. I'm gonna make this a more lengthy video than it has to be. Uh, is there an ability? They talk about uh, uh, where we should have, as opposed to trying to figure out a way in order to integrate or be able to go and appreciate the same little lunch counters and restaurants or whatever places of business with people of other races. That's pretty much defined as inter race. Um, we feel as if that was as I guess as Martin Luther King Jr. said himself, was an invitation to enter into you brought us into a burning house with that, Martin. Because I guess you may have been affiliated with a certain group of people who funded your movement and led you in a particular way, but that's not what I'm trying to talk about here. I'm speaking on, because it's separate but equal. The point of separate but equal, but even in the point where they were going, where they were, if you went by the principles of not necessarily the social, like being able to be together, the social aspect of integration. If we went more to the point of where it was like a full integration, where there was an institutional integration, where there was in regards to the banking industry, where the manufacturing industry, or the construction industry, where there was a seemingly, by those who were, and not even not saying, I can't even say seemingly, those who took advantage of the wealth that their forefathers may have earned in this country by means of either having slaves, or utilizing the goods and services produced by slave labor, or even an aspect of the banking, or the banking aspect of having to deal with the accounts and the transactions of dealing in slave trading, slave insurance for the slaves. All of this was the ability to build an institution. You have your Wall Street. Wall Street was pretty much was a slave stockyard. So, but I don't want to get too far off. Intraracial, not interracial. Not like, okay, you can get you like he was like the guy Mr. Ike was talking about. He's talking about how the niggas get the money, then they run out with the white girls. How he said way back Kanye could have been community centers, that, and the third. So it's like, even in the condition that we're in, are we able to say to ourselves and each other that we are separate but equal, even in the midst of even in one can we say them better yet, can we say that we're together and equal? Do we feel as if we are equal to one another? Do some of us feel that we are above, your fellow African American, black person, Negro person, a nigga person like myself? I refer myself to as nigga, by the way. But that's just me. That's just my choice. That's my personal pronoun, is nigga. Do we feel as if, and then even if I call myself nigga, am I able to be viewed upon as someone who has the intellect, or to be able to work a profession, or own a business, or somehow be able to a pinnacle to my community? Do I have the characteristics and personality traits in order to be someone that could be constructive to a community, to make me not only part of the union or the particular group, but the ability to be beneficial to the group. So we can even go to the point, well, we don't, like I broke it down. I said African American, black, Negroes, and nigger folks like myself. We all know that in the eyes in the eyes of someone that is looking in at us from our appearance, and that also includes, even though we want to play the game that we're, and that's fair also, that we want to play the game that just because some darker skinned person is from another continent or land or whatever, that they're a different kind of nigga, then, well, they can't be niggas. Niggas is the particular type of people based off the history, but they're not the same as they're different type of black people, or even with their identification of being able to say that they are from a particular country, but then that's a potential particular country or particular tribe, and have a knowledge of their own history. But even by them saying that might be a presumption to say, well, yeah, I'm a separate group, and I'm of a higher prestige of you because I can identify where I came from. I can identify my tribe. I can identify my history for thousands and thousands of years. You can just pretty much identify your history from the time you left the plantation, or some of those who may say on the plantation. You go take an ancestry DNA test, and they'll tell you that you're from a particular region. So at that point, you just automatically not necessarily have to, automatically presume to be, what that DNA test told you that you were. But it doesn't do anything necessarily constructive in order to change in your particular position. So it comes out to saying, okay, well, my DNA test may say I'm from Cameroon. I got blood from Cameroon. I can't go to Cameroon and them people and those people won't necessarily associate themselves with me because I am for one from a different group. Uh, I'm losing my. I'm losing. Let me center back around to the point I'm trying to make. Are we able to say to, like, let's say for example, uh, we have these certain people that are of celebrity status, and even those who are not necessarily like entertainers that are celebrities. You have athletes and things, people like that, just people that are prominent, and they may or may not have a certain amount of wealth. But uh, should those people be presumed or considered as uh, beings and persons that are of some form of superior uh, caste than you? Are they superior than you? I mean, do they not bleed? Do they not breathe? Uh, when they hunger, when they are starving, do they not have a hunger for food? So taking that in consideration, I'm circling back around to Mr. Ike. We have these certain organizations, and some people refer to them as gangs, and then we're not necessarily speaking about Mr. Ike's organization only. We have several organizations, and even in some places where there aren't any um, organizations, uh, we have situations and circumstances where uh, people that are from that region and tend to look like each other. They are these black people in this particular region. Just for the sake of economy, I'm just going to say black people. These black people live in the same particular area, so it's like you know, you're pretty much you're equal and you're together. You're not separated. So it's like, okay, well, you have it. If you feel as if you are more akin to a black person from this other side of town, this other side of the water, that's fine. But shouldn't you be able to coexist with those who are in this particular uh, other village? Let's say, just say village, other region. You know, um, and I also say that to say, well, you may have these organizations. Is there some, and it's one thing to be proud of your organization, and I'm not even going to just keep it on the street organization. We can talk about um, these social organizations, even the fraternities and the sororities. Talk about those type of organizations. Even though you are a part of this organization, uh, does that make you somewhat exclusive to the type of treatment that might come upon me from another another racial group, or even not even the fact that they may come from another racial group, but just from um, does that give you? Let me just put it like this: does that give you exclusive right if you're part of a particular organization or group? Does that give you the exclusive right or the ability, the permission to mistreat me or to disregard me as someone other than what I am, a person, a man, so to speak? Uh, are we together and equal, even though we may have separate ideologies, separate beliefs, separate practices, um, separate alliances? If we are able to see that those things that make us uh, look at others as if they are either lesser than, and even to the most part, even greater than, because a lot of the African American, black, and the nigger people lose themselves because they like to see other people as greater than themselves. So uh, they develop an aura or essence of underachievement. You don't want to work. Well, I shouldn't. I mean, I'd be like that. You may not be able to fathom the idea. You may not even consider work as even an option, but it's like something. It's like you're just settling. Uh, you're able to maintain. Um, you do just enough in order to have just enough. Now you have when they say underachiever, you have your overachiever. and you do, and then I guess you see those may be some of those people that are of those higher class. And I guess I'm being redundant when I say those so-called higher class organizations. They go about doing things. They pursue higher education. They get get together with other social clubs, which I guess you could say other fraternities and sororities or other lodges, what have you, and they form groups, other subgroups within their, well, not necessarily subgroups, but other groups outside of their particular group. And what's funny about that is that even though you may have someone who may be part of an exclusive group from the rest of the nigger folks or the black folks or the African American folks, the person may be part of an exclusive group, but they come from a certain place before they went to that group. So you might see this person, albeit they being a part of this exclusive group, they're commingling more with those people that they came up with before they were even introduced to the group, because they can relate to them more. Now, they're not to say that they're going to abandon their new group or their new organization or their new affiliation. Uh, if you're able to individually have that same type of relationship, you don't see yourself above, because those people that you come from, they're not going to allow you to see yourself above them, no matter who you belong to or who you deal with. Are you able to bring your organization that has that perceivable aura above themselves back down to those people who are not necessarily part of a prestigious organization? And you may ask me, why would we want to do something like that? Well, they said, I live in Cook County, Illinois, and there was something, and I guess it kind of explains why I live now, because they had something that's known as white flight. So when more and more black people move, I mean, but the city's almost always been a large amount of black people. But when there was a certain migration of black people from to certain parts of the city or outside into the suburb area, after civil rights or what have you, when we were um, able to live in different types of neighborhoods without violence, whatever. And that's still a lot, but there was white flight, right? So when I say all this, it's like, okay, this man Ike, and I'm gonna end it on this because I'm kind of like losing my train of thought with it. This man Ike said, this reporter, clearly a white guy, he asked Ike, he said, well, what would help black people? And Ike said, if people just leave them alone. So I guess I started with my thought process. I said, well, if black people were just left alone, the niggas already killing each other, Bazoo Skippy. But then it's like, okay, well, if niggas is just left alone to their own devices, uh, it's gonna either it may end up being a survival of the fittest type of situation. Some, like people say, even now with the ability to have the white man's laws and the white man's courts, niggas say still say that some of these black people need to die out. Some black people need to be killed out. Sick of it. Some black people ain't a no good purpose. So um, when you have that dynamic, well, hell, y'all niggas is on y'all own. Ain't no more welfare, no more Section 8. Here's some land. Here a few here's some seeds. Uh, we give you even more than enough to the basic things to start off building your new nation within a nation or what have you. And you can't come back. Hell, y'all, we gave y'all reparations. And that's just it. We paid our reparations, and somehow we fooled y'all into spending all y'all reparations. So now, we don't feel as if we owe y'all nothing. So, and due to the fact we paid our reparations, there's no longer any welfare or Section 8 things like that. So this is what we got for y'all. Y'all can have this amount of land, and here's some seeds, and it's farmland here for y'all, and blase woo skippy. It's been nice knowing you. So are we able? Once again, I'll bring it back to this. Are we able to be? Because it's going to be everybody ain't the same. We still all we may be a foreign black. I'm saying black. I mean just for the sake of economy. I don't care if you say you Kenyan or a Bahamian or wherever the fuck you black for the sake of this. Is what I'm saying. Okay, you got all these black people from different places. So we have different types of personalities, and I guess for the most part, depending on what, because people like to say black culture and this, that, and the third, but a lot of times culture is also affected by whatever region that you're from. You know, da 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 da. So you have people that may be bringing their geographical cultures along with their social or racial group cultures. So you have all these people in this one little area because and people, Mr. Charlie, Mr. Charlie tends to always have the last laugh, even in my hypothetical situation. But we wouldn't necessarily have to have the last laugh because with the question I'm asking tonight, or with the question that I'm asking this morning is that are black people able to, to be able, I guess this would be a situation where we're forced to do it. Will we be able to operate and function? And what would in your mind, and I guess anyone who may be forward enough to comment in the comment section later on, what would be in your mind be the thing that you feel as if you and people that are like-minded or your people that are around you will be able to contribute to this newfound culture? Because the theoretical I'm putting down here is okay. Right about now, doing right now, everybody holler reparations. Let's say them people paid them reparations out. And then they came up with a plan. Okay, we paid the reparations out, but we got a trick with them reparations. So now it may be 1 or 2 or 3 years later, all the reparation money gone. No black business, nothing like that, Bill. Now this is just a theoretical, because even you're still underneath the system. And a lot of people don't believe in the system of white supremacy. Let's just say there's a dominance. There's a system that where there are certain groups of people that sit in the dominant seats, and I don't believe people that are in the dominant seats are necessarily people that are the same skin hue as myself. So they say these people have assured that you got your reparations, and somehow they poof one day they hear baby, and then they gone. Oh, the reparation they gone. So now I guess if anything aside from just sending y'all niggas to a gas chamber or walking y'all to the down the firing line, what they call that, the firing range, you know where they put the blindfold on you and give you a square and then say you got any last words? Yeah, y'all could have gave me a blunt instead of a Newport, fuck it. But in order for them to avoid doing such mass genocide, what they'll say, well, we'll give you this area, this space, and y'all have these necessary things for you to begin building your village or building your nation, what have you. The Africans, they have their nation. The people down in the island regions, they have their island. They, whatever. So y'all got your opportunity. The Nation of Islam once said that Farrakhan and Elijah Muhammad and even Brother Malcolm X talk about the nation within the nation. Here y'all go. Here y'all Black Americans go. Y'all got y'all nation within y'all nation. What will we? What will we be? What? Damn, I'm over here stumbling over words. What will we be able to do with it? Would that just be pretty much saying, well, y'all might as well just go ahead and dig a whole bunch of 6-foot deep holes because this the end of y'all niggas? I just want people to think, put in their mind, just taking their mind in perspective and think, well, hell, we can't. If it came down to this, and this is what we had, and this is what we had to do. Legitimately, everybody time we need to come together. We need to unify, knowing that niggas don't necessarily don't necessarily get along or can't necessarily get along, maybe or maybe not. So in our minds, we just, I guess, me just saying that is kind of like a stereotype per se. Because if it comes down to a situation or a circumstance where black, well, niggas. I'm gonna stick with the niggas, the black folks, the black Americans. We absolutely have to come together for our own survival. Ain't no motherfucking checks coming in the mail. They kicked you out your little Section 8 apartment. And y'all niggas, y'all was working on Mr. Charlie. You know, like I got my own personal plantation that I call my employment. We Zeke, we ain't gonna need you here no more. We gonna go ahead on, and we give you a couple of weeks of unemployment. But once that's gone, we don't know. You on your own, Zeke. Uh, but you can go off to that nigga nation, this nation that with this little plot of land that we didn't set up for y'all since y'all spent all y'all reparations. Nigga Nation ain't nothing, y'all. Peace and love. I see one person out there. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I saw two people for a second, but I digress. I take the one. Peace and love. Nigga Nation or nothing.